In an effort to bring you guys the best quality content, not only the content itself, but also the sound and so forth, we're trying it with a condenser mic today. So we'll see exactly how you appreciate the difference in sound. Certainly sounds better to me right now, but I'd like to know what you think about it. So let us know. Thank you very much. Let's get started with today's 3 at 3. Indeed, today's 3 at 3. It is the 15th of September. I am John Najarian. 3 at 3, we bring you unusual option activity every business day at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Our disclaimer is that this is for educational and informational purposes only. All investments involve risk. You need to decide if this is appropriate for you. Intellectual property rights, yeah. Copyrights, indeed. Registered mark, indeed. We've also got patents and trademarks, indeed and indeed. So please, before you use this, please ask us. And if you'd like to use this, we'd also ask that you cite marketrebellion.com for the intellectual property that you're about to see. Halftime report today, and my brother Pete Najarian was there on the halftime report talking about unusual option activity with that guy, Scott Wapner, the judge. First trade today was NIO. You see where NIO has gone. This is the electric car manufacturer out of China. NIO. Seems these days anybody, whether it's Nikola, as in Nikola Tesla, Tesla itself, NIO, Boyd, BYD. There are a host of car manufacturers that are in this game. I'm on the board of one of them who has just done a deal with Net Element, and we'll have more on that in the not too distant future. But because I serve on the board of Net Element, NIO, let's get to that. But before we do, marketrebellion.com/get started. That is marketrebellion.com/get started. You can learn all about trading stocks, options, futures, cryptocurrencies. You can go from beginner to advanced like that. You can do it remotely. You do it at your time frame, meaning you can watch anytime. This is distance learning. You can watch any time of the day or night, and you can also participate in live events. And speaking of which, we're going to be doing in 24 days our virtual conference, so make sure you check that out in the coming days. All right, so Pete was talking about NIO. The stock was $19.60. He talks about these calls, those October 23 calls. Now, let me tell you, those were purchased in very big numbers. And as you see, NIO's a stock that was up almost 400% year to date. Bang. Didn't even have a drawdown hardly at all. Going from a $5 stock to a $3 stock, okay. But then look at it exploding to the upside here. Pete talked about those October 23s. You know what else is busy in here? Take a look at this. Yeah, those October 23s, they traded a lot of them, 16,000 of those. But take a look at the September 20s, 18,000. I'm going from those Octobers on up here on the screen, folks. Those September 19s, 22,000. That's 2.2 million share equivalent. Look at those 21s, 3.2 million share equivalent. Look at those 20s in September, 80,000, which is 8 million share equivalent. You think something might be going on in NIO with this much activity? It's not just the Robin Hoodsters. It's a lot of big institutional players jumping into this one in a big way. September, yeah, those are short term. And then October, obviously these folks wanted a little more time. Watch this one, trade it if you will, but this is one that I am in, Pete's in, and Pete was talking about it on the halftime today. Let's get to our second of the 3 at 3, shall we? Tesla. Yeah, baby. Early this morning, I saw calls building in Tesla when the stock was only up $6. And then the stock's up 12, and then it's up 14, and then it's up 20, and then it's up 23, as you see on the screen here with Infinite Pete from his home. Tesla trading 443.47 was up 5.68%. heading back towards some of those highs, perhaps, that it put in 2 weeks ago. But remember what a horrible week last week was. Stock dropped better than 10%, although it was up 12% yesterday. Another 5.68% when Pete was on there, and they were buying September 450 calls. So those were just out of the money calls. I will cite for you, they were also buying the 440 calls, the 460 calls, the 450 calls, all of that in September, short-term options that expire this Friday. Deep end of the pool. Why do they trade these options? Because these options are a lot less than trading a $440 stock. $440 stock, if you want to trade 1,000 shares, costs you $440,000. These options, as you see here, trading for $10, which would be $1,000 a piece, to $16, which would be $1,600. Again, every one of these options is for 100 shares, folks. So when we see 30,000 of these trading, and people buy them from 10 and they've almost doubled them already up to 16, you know this is something you want to pay attention to. Look at those 460s, 13,000 of those changing hands for $727 a piece. So a 10 lot of these would not be 1,000, it would be 10 times that, $10,000. But what would you rather tie up? $10,000 in these calls or $440,000 to control 1,000 shares of stock? You control 1,000 shares either way, you have a lot more risk with those stock purchases than you do with the option purchases. And keep in mind, we can always show you how to do it with less risk by doing spreads where you address both theta, which is time decay, and vega, which is volatility. Bang. Let's get to the third of our 3 at 3. There it says, as you see, with Scott and Pete. Pete owns Tesla calls, plans to hold for 1 to 3 days. LRCX, take a look at this one. It's a $310 stock. Again, when you've got a $310 stock, 1,000 shares is $310,000. So when you see somebody buying September calls that expire this Friday, deep end of the pool, and they're paying $2 to $3, that's $200 to $300 for each option. So a 10 lot would be $2,000 versus $310,000 for controlling the stock. You get the idea why people really prefer to trade options, especially people that don't have $310,000 just kind of sitting around in their account. So this one, that's what Lamb Research looks like, as you see, from basically September 11th last week on up to from 294 to 310, touching through 312 today. You see why this is an interesting play, because look at that. It moves $12 like that from 294 to 306 and then keeps going. You want to be on this train. You can do it a lot more efficiently with options, folks. That's the way Pete and I trade. You have to decide if they're appropriate for you. And once you understand time decay and volatility and things like that, using an option against an option in a call spread, I think you'll be a better investor. Bang. You want to learn more about all that? Go to marketrebellion.com/get started. That is marketrebellion.com/get started. We can show you how to set up your wallet for cryptocurrencies. We can show you how to trade on cryptocurrency exchanges where they do have options. We can also show you how to trade futures. We can show you how to trade stocks as well as options at marketrebellion.com/get started. Thank you for joining me today, folks. Appreciate it. As always, please tell a friend about the program, and I hope we see you soon here on Market Rebellion Television. Bang. And do let me know how you like the new mic. I kind of like the new mic.